Hello guys, I would like to show you an easy way to use Topnet to chain file cache. I made a custom flip simulation, looks like lava with various viscosity and all that kind of things, not very complicated. So I've got the emitter here and with animation and make various viscosity with noise, and after that I've got the flip simulation with a little trick to stick the particle on the ground when we touch it with the viscosity. And after that I've got the simulation result with two file cache and one Alembic export. As you know, when you do flip you have to make two file cache. The first one is for caching the simulation and the particle and the volume, and the second one is for meshing. The second one is more longer than the first one. So it is very annoying when you've got a big huge scene. If you want to make an Alembic or to cache the two file cache, you have to wait this one is finished to cache this second one. So I will use Topnet to chain all the three render here. So here we go. Let's create a Topnet. Sorry, I will create again. Topnet. Okay. My Topnet. I go inside and let's add a ROP Fetch. What is a ROP Fetch? Is you can pick whatever you want, whatever ROP you want in your scene to render it. So I will just take in the ROP path, go to get the first, which is flip compress cache, which is a particle. I don't take this one because the file cache is an asset and you've got a render inside, which is the ROPnet, so you have to take it, and I accept. The second thing I have to do is to specify the frame range of the simulation, because if I don't, it will render a single frame, and in Topnet it will be always the first one. So I have to put it frame range. Okay, I've got my frame range to 1 to 48. And the second thing you have to do in that file cache is to check all frame in one batch. Why? Because as you know, when you simulate, you have to cook the previous frame to cook the current frame. So you must wait for the previous to render the next one. So it's very important to check this one. The first thing I can do is to test my Topnet node. So without cooking it, just generate. You right click on the ROPnet and you click on generate, and here we are. We got all the work item, and if I double click on the work item, I've got the current frame of this work item, the frame range, and all kind of information with it, which can be very useful if you make a very complex Topnet work. So this one I will name it file cache pop. Okay, let's add the second one, the second file cache. The second file cache, which is this one, is the flip meshing, and it's exactly the same node. So let's add a ROP Fetch. I will name it file cache meshing. I will connect the output of the first one in the input of the second one, and then the same. I will go here and get the render node, which is in the flip meshing. Okay, and here there is a little difference with the first one. The first thing I have to do is to let this thing in single frame. Let's test it. I will right click generate node to see, and you can see that when one work item of the first one is linked to a second one, so you have to wait. This one is rendered in the first fetch to render the second one. If you don't do this one, if you put it in frame range, let's regenerate. Here you are. You've got a big mistake, because for each work item it will do a batch of rendering, so that's not what we want. So you have to let it in single frame. Let's generate. Okay, and sorry, I made a mistake. This one is a frame range and this one is single. So let's generate, and that's okay. You've got for one work item, you've got one work item is the second one. Next thing to do is when all the meshing is done, because you cannot export Alembic for one frame. Alembic is one file, and all the simulation is stuck in one file. So you have to wait that all that work item, all that frame are done. So I will add a wait for whole node. And after that, we can add another ROP Fetch here to get the Alembic. So here we go. We go to check export Alembic. So you cannot go inside. You take all the node here, and you've got a little things to do on the ROP Fetch, which get the Alembic. So I will name it export Alembic. Okay, and after that you have to, on this one, put the evaluation using frame logic, and you want to compute all the frame logic in one file, but you have to cook here frame as single work item, because Alembic export is one batch. So I take this one, I check, sorry, this one, let's generate to see it, it's okay. So let's go, let's render our simulation. The best way to render the simulation is to cook selected node. What is dirty? Dirty is to reset. If you start cooking, for example, I will cook selecting node, so it will render one by one, and I made a mistake. Oh, sorry, I forgot something. So you have to stop. You can stop with this little button, and then you can see there's a warning here because it begin to cook it. You have to reset it. To reset it, you have to dirty this node, for example. So don't forget to put the output flag here. So here we go, let's generate node to see it's okay, it's okay, it wait for, and then it will export all the Alembic. So let's go, let's cook it, dirty and cook this node. The first frame is always longer than the other. As you can see, this frame are done for the moment. Enough, I go to my geocache file, you can see you make all the fail, but the meshing for the moment is not finished. You begin to render two. Oh, okay, I've got one finished. When the green is light, it means that the work item is finished. So let's check again, and you can see we've got two file cache because of my meshing, because I've got two file cache here. So one thing interesting is when all unit weight is done, you can render cooking on the outside. You've got all this button, the first button to render it. Here is a little little UI which is very useful. Here's all the work item which are done, and this one are the green lights are the work item working for the moment, cooking for the moment, and the third line is the waiting work item. So it's very interesting, but be aware that it's work item and not frame. So all the work item is all the dot I've got on all the node here, so that's not only the frame. So we will wait for the compute to be finished. Let's go inside. One thing is very interesting, that it use all your processor and all your resources you can have on your computer, so it's very effective. One thing to just remember is that here you make 3 jobs in the same time. If you want to set up this, you have to go to the local scheduler, and here in job param you can check if you want single, so it will do one work item per work item. It depends really on your memory. In fact, here there's no problem with my memory. I use 53% of my memory, so that's okay. You can render 3 jobs in the same time. Almost finished the 3 last meshing file cache, so we will wait a little to see how it works with Alembic. Here we go, it's finished. As you can see, the Alembic file is here, so we will check if the Alembic is okay. So I will make in my final result an Alembic node, Alembic to load the Alembic. So here we go in the ABC, flip mesh. I will show this one and let's check if it's okay. And yeah, as you can see, it's okay. All my Alembic is okay, and it runs properly all the things, so it's okay. One thing to remember, if you want to re-render all the chain because you make modification of your simulation, you have to change a little things on all the node, quite all the all. If you just re-render here, let's make a test. So I will go here and dirty all the node, dirty this node and all the node, in fact. Dirty this node, Shift D if you want to, and then compute Shift V. As you can see, it don't render all again the file. It's because here on each node the cache mode is automatic. So if he found file on your folder, it will consider that that's okay, all is rendered. So if you want to re-render, you have to put in right file. Exactly the same for the free node, the free ROP Fetch. So each time we will re-render, it will be okay, it will erase all the file. See you next time.